Our study took place primarily in the Northern Cape, but also a little bit in the Western Cape. That's where the species is most widespread. I did some interviews with farmers and local community members to understand what they believe about the tree and their perceptions and knowledge about it, particularly about how invasions are spreading and also about the impacts and benefits that they feel these invasions have. We understood from other studies that it has negative effects on biodiversity, so it decreases populations of birds, insects, other trees, but then it also has major impacts for humans because it's got the deepest root in the world out of any tree, so its tap roots goes into the water supply, and then the Northern Cape doesn't get much rain, so most water comes from underground boreholes.
Die slechte dinge van die mesquiteboom is hy besmet jou waterbronne. Jou boorgate word sodat jy nie windpomppype kan uittrek nie.
As jy 'n boorgat het en jy het pype in die boorgat, dan moet jy nou kyk daai gemors wat hy afgee. Hy loop kleef hy groei in die boorgat in en dan loop kleef hy so om die pype. Dan maak hy so 'n bos daar.
It also has all sorts of other negative implications. For example, it really reduces grazing potential. So although it provides a fodder, and that's highly nutritious, it's only around for a month or two in the dry season of the year, and that means it's displacing herbaceous plants and grasses that could be grazed throughout the year.
Hy neem jou goeie weiveld in, jou leegteveld wat van jou beste veld is, jou watervlak daal, jou bossies buitekant begin raak, dood oplaten.
As ek jou kan vat na twee plekke toe vat, en jy sien hoe dig is die bome daar. Jy kan nie daarin nie, en daar kan ook skaap in nie, want dat hom toe.
The last estimates were about 1.8 million hectares of South Africa covered, but we suggest looking at annual rates of spread at about 8%. We think now, well, if we had to update those figures, it's probably about 8 million hectares now. But in the mid 1900s, there were major droughts up in the arid areas of South Africa. So the Department of Agriculture really promoted the introduction of this tree onto farms. So they literally gave trees to farmers and said, go and plant one of these trees in each corner of your land because it's going to provide fodder for your livestock and shade for them, and then also fuelwood. And a couple of years after that, they started becoming invasive. It wasn't intentional, they didn't realize it was going to be a problem. So we had a focus on how it impacts trees and then also how it impacts local communities. And then we also, to take it further, to understand it's because I mentioned earlier that it's got conflicts of interest because it provides beneficial fodder and firewood, and also shade and beautification in urban areas, but then obviously it also induces costs. So we looked at how much people actually use the tree relative to others, to get kind of a bit of a cost-benefit understanding of the tree.
Die suikerboom, hy baie lekker hout, hy maak lekker vuur, en hy het ook die oortollige rook nie, maar die mesquiteboom, hy rook, en hy het 'n olie wat uitbrei, en hy het 'n dooie koelo. So jy kan nie lekker vlees brei op hom, want jy maak hom nou dan sê maar dood. Okay, die ander ding voordeel wat nog genoem is, daar's 'n pile wat die skaap nog gebruik. En die mense kan die hout gebruik, maar verder het jy goeie vlees gevoel.
Hy het nie 'n voordeel nie. Hierso nie by ons nie. Kyk die donkies, net oor hy maar so die pille dra. Vreet die donkie daai pil. Maar hy sê hy voordelig hier.
We started working a lot to understand what's hindering management, and we worked with different stakeholders, mainly working for water. So we worked with managers and labourers, but also farmers and academics. And it was quite surprising that there was a list of over 100 problems. Some of the interesting ones were obviously the conflicts of interest that are still there. Many farmers were talking about how they manage it and they don't want it there, but their neighbour still uses it for fodder and won't manage it. So there's these interesting dynamics.
Ek dink die medeboere sien nog altyd die pele as 'n positief, omdat dit destyds deur die regering aanbeveel is om Prosopis aan te plant vir droogteweiding van die pele, en as daar nie, as dit in 'n tyd van droogte, dan kry die Prosopis ook swaar en die peletjies is maar klein en min, en so dat is ook die droogtevoeding.
Looking at it from an invasion biology point of view, there's a lot of vectors of spread, so there's a lot of ways this tree is spreading, making it difficult to manage. So every flood event takes seeds downriver and causes new invasions. in transporting livestock. In the dung, their seeds, and so they're along all major transport routes.
Hoekom hulle so versprei het, dat die donkies eet daai pille. En nou die donkies gaan loop in die veld en dan mis hulle mos nou. En daai put die lê nou daar in sy mis. En as dit reën, dan kom die boom sommer so waar sy mis lê, kom hulle sommer so op.
Wat my betref is die nadele meer as wat die voordele is.
In doing these studies, we've really found that people think this tree is harmful. They would like to see densities decreased, and it's having a negative impact on their lives. So looking into this, it's enabled us to develop management strategies, but also propose things like introducing further biological control to aid the management of this tree in a more cost-effective manner.